It's been one public relations nightmare after another, and the nation's airlines are under the microscope. In the most recent incident, that involved a Delta flight from Maui. Now, a local industry analyst is weighing in on how this is forcing airlines to make some changes. Alexander Zanes found out how these changes could impact you. Alexander.
Yeah, Marissa, I spoke with industry analyst Peter Foreman. He tells me with a combination of restless passengers and airline employees being on high alert, we could see more of these types of incidents in the future. But he tells me there are ways to keep these types of incidents from escalating.
From a doctor being dragged off a plane due to an overbooking issue to now a family arguing with airline employees about whether or not their toddler could stay in a seat originally bought for another family member. Right now, the airline industry is on alert for the next public relations disaster.
Airlines certainly don't want that kind of press that happened with the United incident. But I think what you're going to see, though, is passengers are restless these days. They're going to try and push their limits on what they can get away with because of that previous incident. And I think you're going to see more conflicts of this nature.
Foreman says in this case he believes Delta was simply trying to follow FAA regulations regarding a ticketed passenger being in the correct seat. But he says it's the way these situations are handled that can become an issue.
We're going to see more incidents like this because there is a heightened sense of antagonism, shall we say, between passengers and the airlines these days.
With nearly everything these days being caught on camera from any number of cell phones, Foreman says airlines will continue to enforce the rules, but employees might have to change their approach in dealing with passengers.
You know, obviously the airlines are being filmed while these events happen, so they've got to be very careful. But on the other hand, passengers need to understand that the airlines are forced to follow the FAA regulations.
And instead of seeing someone forcibly removed, Foreman said you might see a plane sit on the tarmac until the passenger voluntarily gets off, which was the case in this most recent incident.
So if FAA regulations are an issue, the airline is always going to insist on that. Interestingly, the airline decided rather than try and remove the passenger, they basically told the passenger, this airplane's going to stay here until you get off.
And Delta said today it's reached out to the family and refunded their tickets as well as an additional undisclosed sum of money. Alexander Zanes, KHON 2 News.